I don't think your political party has done anything good.
And has yours? Politics, along with government, is something else.
And we will show you for sure.
Shining aura, graduation hats, flying high. Yeah, this is Team Valedictorian Vibes. I am Ishanvi.
I am Gauri,
And we are the Valedictorian Gems. Thank you, Valfi, for giving us this beautiful platform and opportunity to express ourselves and be a part of the Trending Topic Challenge.
We are highly grateful to make you all dive in the world of government and politics. We assure you we will show you each side of the coin.
Aurangzeb Alamgir, the sixth ruler of the Mughal Empire, is the most hated king in Indian history. He ruled for nearly 50 years, from 1658 until 1707, the last great imperial power in India before British colonialism. According to many, he destroyed India politically, socially, and culturally. Aurangzeb in popular history is depicted as an usurper who had no right to be at the head of the Mughal Empire. He reversed the Akbar's policy of religious tolerance and thus undermined the loyalty of Hindus to the empire. As a result, this led to popular uprisings which suppressed the vitality of empire, and the subsequent weakening of the empire is presented as the proof of his unsuitability to the throne. Thus, the future of any government builds on the foundation of protecting and providing. A country is not a company. Inadequate and unreasonable actions can lead to government failure.
This topic is something that has deep roots and is associated with our own country's history also. Government and politics is a topic that we felt was something everyone can relate to. Not only technically but also as a topic close to their hearts, positive or negative, both. Framing of policies, elections, rural areas, impact on people, decision makers, everything could be included in it. As we discuss further, this topic is really vast and somehow makes its way through every other one of the topics. It's astonishing, right? Now, talking about the importance, the research is mainly focused on India because of the survey responses we received. Yet, it has a slight focus bent toward other countries. And that is because we can't deny the fact that government and politics covers the whole globe. As the literacy rate increases, controlled by the government again, the questioning increases, and thus our topic is unique, in-depth and evergreen topic. The survey was conducted as a part of our research also.
For our research work, our first step was to gather public opinion about government and politics. Thus, for this purpose, we conducted an anonymous survey and we were blessed to receive beautiful responses. Then, we used the same responses to create our data sets for the creation of our linear regression model. We used 4 questions from our survey to create variables. How politically stable is your country? How would you, as a citizen, rate the election organization and procedure in your country? How politically free are you and the media in the country you are? How much is the government working in your country to stand up to people's expectations? we took 4 variables, namely y, dependent variable, x1, x2 and x3, independent variables. x1 was how would you, as a citizen, rate the election organization and procedure in your country. x2 was how politically free are you and the media in the country you are. x3 was how much is the government working in your country to stand up to people's expectations. And y was how politically stable is your country. Here are some glimpses of the linear regression model we made. But our result was 58% accurate due to lack of data, and thus to test the accuracy of model, we tested the same process and codes on an external dataset from Kaggle.com, which had the survey participants of over 300. The questions we took were total cases, total death cases, total recovered cases, and total active cases. We took 4 variables, namely y, dependent variable, x1, x2 and x3, independent variables. x1 was total death cases, x2 was total recovered cases, x3 was total active cases, and y was total cases. Let's have a look on the model. Our model was 99.9% accurate, and thus we have created a perfect linear regression model which can even tell you, is your country politically stable or not? If the value of y is less than 5, then let me tell you, your country is politically unstable. But hang in there. If the value of y is more than 5, then congratulations, you are living in a politically stable country.
Pop culture is yet another trending topic the youth resonates itself with. So you must be thinking, why do we bring a competitor in terms of searches, likes, etc. into the scenario? Well, that's because we want to make it relatable for you and share some of our understandings. I am not too sure if there is pop culture in politics or singing and dancing people in the parliament, but I am sure there is politics in pop culture. Let's take this example. You must be familiar with TWICE, a K-pop group. Most of my fellow mates who made the survey on the topic pop culture included connected things. If you know about TWICE, you must know Chu Zui also, the visual of the group and the youngest one coming from Taiwan. To represent her country in a photo with her Japanese bandmates, she held the flag of Taiwan, and that became a tool for politics in China. A singer accused her of being a pro-independence activist who wants Taiwan to be separated from China. Her endorsements were cancelled, and after some years, she was made to apologize by her own company when there were elections in China. And that is why the leaders showed support to her for votes. That was when she was able to continue her career back in her own country. So, the thing you heard right now is also known as the flag incident of TWICE. Even though it seems negative, it is the most common form of politics we people are familiar with.
Here, we would like to share our learnings with you all. Linear regression wasn't easy, but through our determination and the support of everyone, we were able to nail it. Our survey was a chance for the surveys to self-reflect and realize how much aware they are. We spread info on our topics through classroom discussions, explanations, and even tried to work on the ground by starting from our school. We realized it is not only the grown-ups who have a broad view of the topic, but also the youth. and the future voters.
Coming to our observations, we collected data for YouTube likes, Instagram and Twitter followers, comments, discussions, etc. Most important thing we realized was that we can't rely on only one source to declare a topic as trending or popular. That is because different apps and facilities are used by people of different countries, and thus it becomes important to take most of them into consideration. Leaving out on any of them means a biased result. We also learned that people support those who support them. None of the people like unhealthy politics, and people had their own solutions to eradicate it. The trending element of a topic doesn't only depend on how much a topic is liked, but also on how much the topic is disliked.
Through this medium, I interacted with my fellow mates and created relationships. This essential skill of networking, which I learned, will surely take me places I never thought I could go. Through this amazing challenge, I developed my creative problem-solving skills and critical thinking skills by creating a linear regression model with my friend. Attending virtual school, completing assignments, participating in co-curricular activities, and preparing for trending topic challenge was never easy. But I learned how to balance my task and manage my time accordingly.
This as a whole was an awesome learning experience for me. Even though I am not from a computer science background, the knowledge I gained from the whole challenge helped me in my overall development. The best part was getting to know people from different countries and get in touch with their opinions, cultures and interests. Thank you so much to Ishanvi for being my teammate, my teachers, my school, and of course my heartfelt thanks to Sir Nwanacho Nwana for organizing this challenge and giving us a platform to present ourselves.